My blood will nourish the tree that will bear fruits of freedom. Tell my people that I love them and they must continue with the struggle. Aluta continua. Those were the final words of Solomon Kalushi Mahlangu before he was sentenced to death, in which he was hanged in 1979 on the 6th of April. A man who was born and bred in Mamelodi West, a man who was born in 10 July 1956, the son of Mama Esther Mahlangu, a man who studied at Mamelodi High School and sadly had to leave school at that age because at the time he was doing standard 8, which is grade 10 now, and he had to go to exile under the guidance of Tommy London, whom was a activist, struggle activist. He's also there. If you watch the film Solomon Kalushi Mahlangu, you'll see the character. He sadly had to leave at a young age, and he was also a victim before leaving of police brutality, apartheid, police brutality, and had to leave and came back in 1977, and that's where they were arrested, both of them, Mondi Mutloung and Solomon Kalushi Mahlangu. The other one, who is lucky, fled on the scene, and they were arrested because Mondi Mutloung shot 2 white people dead, and they died on the scene, and he was heavily beaten also, Mondi, that he couldn't stand in trial. He suffered severe brain injuries. Solomon was the only one who stood on the trial, and Solomon didn't pull the trigger, but he was arrested because of the law of common purpose. So they were ultimately hanged. Sad. At a young age, I can imagine the pain of the family, of the families and the close friends, that their children are being, and friends are being hanged. It was tough times during apartheid. The reason I do this video is because of I had an epiphany last night that I must do a video about Solomon Kalushi Mahlangu and actually honor him and show respect. As a man who come from my hood, Mamelodi, I come from the same township. I was born and bred there. It's sad. I remember all the struggle icons who we lost during apartheid. May their souls rest in peace. I woke up feeling sad. I was like, yeah, we've come too far. And the struggle still continues. It's left with us who are still here, the youth. Because now we've got social media, we need to conscientize ourselves. Consume informative content that's gonna conscientize us and actually make us know where we come from. The highest form of education is self-knowledge. Marcus Garvey teaches us that a people without knowledge of their culture, origin, traditions are like a tree without roots. You can never know where you're going until you know where you come from. Which DNAs do you carry? Abantu bagini bathandane, abafunini. What were their strengths, their weaknesses, their opportunities, their threats? So that you cannot repeat the same mistakes they've done. Actually, to appease them, that we're continuing with the struggle where black people were conquered, were segregated, were forcefully removed from their lands by the colonizers, and continued with the apartheid in 1948, and the engineer of apartheid, which is Hendrik Verwoerd and the others, to continue suppress black people. So we need to go back and find ourselves. It's not enough we learn about Einstein, Aristotle, Plato, Marcus Aurelius, but yet we don't know who we are. We don't know who gave birth to us. So Solomon Mahlangu went to exile, went to Mozambique, and then went to Angola, where they got training there, military training. So when they found them in Gog Street, Johannesburg, they arrested them. They were in possession of AK-47s, grenades, and some articles at the time wrote that these are terrorists. That's why they were their case was so serious. They actually were beaten up. And NC was banned at the time. And we need to give praise to parties like our PAC, the Black Consciousness, and all the military wings which were there, about UDF, yeah, and give honor to them, not only about Tata Mandela, but everyone who was involved in the struggle. They need to be honored, they need to be respected. So I won't go long. I'll actually leave it here, and I'll continue on part 2 of Solomon Kalushi Mahlangu, who has a statue and a Freedom Square situated in Mamelodi, in the entrance of Mamelodi, next to Den Lane Mall and Tshwane Regional Mall, where there's a statue, big statue, Saka Solomon Mahlangu, and he has a school that is named after him, which is called Sobafco, Solomon Mahlangu Freedom College, in honor of the man. And I respect him, and yeah, it's a heavy topic, and it's quite sad when you also watching these documentaries, these movies, which teaches us about the history. You see how black people were treated. It's sad. Sometimes you get angry and be like, why? Senzeni to suffer like this. And the apartheid still continues. Apartheid is autopoiesis, which means it keeps developing itself. It changes itself, its forms, it shapes. It's a virus. It's like I can say it's a virus, because even Hendrik Verwoerd said that the reason they created, they engineered, they architectured this apartheid is because of they wanted that the damage that is going to cause that no government is gonna be able to actually stop the damage that is being done. I can see black people still continue to be separated, we're fighting each other over mundane things. Let me leave it here. Peace.